Okay, but you know it's a sexually transmitted disease that turns into what? Turns into AIDS. And what happens when you get AIDS? You die. You die. You end up dying. You end up dying when it turns into AIDS. And so, and I throw that in. I'm not here to talk about sexually transmitted diseases today, but I'm talking about you get the regular HIV when you have unprotected sex, when you have unprotected contact in a sexual intercourse. And I've got to be straight here. Mr. Bryce told me to shoot straight. You get this hood infectious virus when you have when your mind has unprotected contact with society. That's what I keep hearing even as I heard the first speakers. When I begin to have unprotected contact, when my mind has unprotected contact with my music, when my mind has unprotected contact with my videos, when my mind has unprotected contact with my friends, when my mind has unprotected contact sometimes, as I heard Mr. Bryson say, with my own family members. When my mind has unprotected contact with society, I run the risk of getting this hood infectious virus. This hood infectious virus leads to another form of AIDS. This form of AIDS is called addiction to incarceration or the death syndrome. When I get this mindset that wrong is right and that right is wrong, when I get this mindset that all of my heroes, and I love, don't get me wrong, I love rap music, some of it. I love hip hop. Some of this rap went too far. But you guys think that, some of you guys think that rap is something new and your parents tell you to turn it off, but rap is nothing new. But you can't have unprotected contact with it where that you begin to believe that these guys on stage, that this is what they're really doing every day. That they got money throwing it up in the air and girls in the swimming pool and with they whips and they rides and pimp my rides and that this lifestyle is what I'm going to chase. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a nice car, none of that stuff. But we loved rap when I was growing up. That is nothing new. We used to rap stuff like the Sugar Hill Gang, man. Hip hop. Hibbity to the hibbity hip hip, a hobby you don't stop, a rocket to the bang bang boogie, up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat. Now what you hear is not a joke, I'm rapping to the beat. Me, my friends, and my crew, we're gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, we got a bang, bang, a boogie to the boogie. See, up, jump the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop. Rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock. Well, so far, you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, you sing your song. Well, I'm imp to them, the ladies pimp, the women fight for my delight, because I'm the grand master with the 3 MCs that rocks the house for the young ladies. That's nothing new, man. That's nothing new. I learned that in the 7th grade. Just like a lot of y'all. How many of y'all know a rap song right now? Anybody? Come on, be honest. It's okay. I just rapped mine. I got more. Dougie Fresh, that was one of I used to love Dougie. Listen to what I say, because these type of things, they happen every day. You see, I woke up about 10 o'clock in the morning. I gave myself a stretch up, a morning yawn, and went to the bathroom to wash up. I had some soap on my face and my hands up on a cup. Said, a mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the top choice of them all? There was a rumble jumbo, 5 minutes it lasted. The mirror said, you are, you conceited bastard. Well, that's cool. That's why we never have no beef. So I washed off the soap and brushed my gold teeth. You know, I love the ladies, and my skin was pale. And then I got the file for my fingernails. Clean, dry was my body and hair. I put on my brand new Gucci underwear. For all the girls that I might take home, put on some Johnson baby powder and my polo cologne. Freshly dressed like $1 million to put on my ballet shoes and my fly green socks. I stepped outside. I stopped short. Oh, no. I went back in. I forgot my Kango. So I doubt. That is nothing new, y'all. That's nothing new. And I don't claim to be a rapper. My son does, but I don't claim to be a rapper. But I can also take that same mind that I just rapped about and begin to talk about the equation of a line being y is equal to mx plus b, or if I want the standard form of the line, ax plus bx plus c is equal to 0, or I can begin to talk about why the different quadrants in the plane here. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. I can talk about a quadratic equation being ax squared plus bx plus c being equal to 0, and where I solve the equation for ax squared plus bx plus c being equal to 0 using the determinant of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Out of the same mind that can rap hip-hop, I can also do higher level mathematics with. All I'm saying is that we don't have to let what I call this hood infectious virus, Mr. Akbar Bryson called it, what mindset word did you use? Self-handicapping mindset. That young people, y'all don't have to let that overtake your life to where your fun becomes crime. I told you I have a book and a workshop, and of course we can't do the whole thing today, but real quickly, I just want to give you guys one. I went and got some copies made last night. They're black and white copies. I brought enough. There should be enough people in the audience too, just to have. And this is a workbook that I do. Make sure all these brothers get one. We're not going to go through the whole thing because we know we're here for the sake of time. Mr. Bryson told me he's going to let me come back and do the whole workshop one day real soon, and so we're going to come back. But there's a couple of chapters in here, and what I do with this book, as you can see, the program is called College. Here, I got plenty of them too, guys. So don't hesitate. You give out here. Give them out. Here, let me get that color on there. Yeah. You got it? Okay. Okay. I think she's got the big stack there. But make sure all these fellows get one first, and then pass them out to the rest of the group there. And and don't go through it yet, guys. Just go through me one more. That's all I got. So he's got a pretty big stack there still in his hands. But if you turn to the table of contents, and I'm going to keep going just for sake of time, the first page, the table of contents, and the first one I talk about what is this hood infectious virus. That's what we just talked about, having unprotected contact. When your mind has unprotected contact with your music, your videos, sometimes your friends, your family, Junebug, Ray and them on the porch, down there on the corner. When you have unprotected contact and I begin to put those people as my role models, I run the risk of getting this hood infectious virus. I'm not saying you ain't supposed to love them, but they can't be my role models. Thugs, gangbangers, love them. More than all, 75–80% of my family is involved in somewhere in something illegal or in the system. I love them to death, but I can't make them my role models. I used to, till Mr. Williams put his hand on me. Then I talk about the second one, education being your protection. Just like you have to protect yourself, and I'm just shooting straight here. Like you have to protect yourself, because that's a good lesson too, young man. The real HIV is killing us quicker than anything in America right now. And this hood infectious virus. It's like you have to protect yourself with a condom. You have to protect your mind with education. You have to protect your mind with spirituality. You have to protect your mind as well. And then the third one I talk about is time for a change. It's time for a change of mind. I seen in the mission statement for this college that the mission of this college is changing minds. That's what college is all about, guys. That's what education is all about. It's time for a change of mind. How many people are happy that Barack Obama became president? Beautiful. Wonderful accomplishment. But Barack Obama can't save you. Matter of fact, Barack Obama can do very little for you. And I love Barack Obama. But he's not the president of the black boys. He's not the president of the black girls. He's not the president of the Latinos. He's the president of the United States of America. It's a proud moment in our history to be able to see an African-American male in that seat. But he has to, yes, but he has to save America. We've got to save ourselves. So I want you to ask, and when I do this, and as you go through this, if we had time, behind each lesson, there's a set of questions. And on this particular one, I talk about setting goals. And I want to talk to you, I want you to just think about what can you do in the next 4 years to honor Barack Obama. He can't come down here to Peoria to get you. But I guarantee you this, and I'm talking to my adults too, my parents. If we, I don't care if you're black, white, Latino, if we say that we are so proud of this young man, and he's still a young man, for becoming the president twice, something we may never see again. If we're so proud, what are we going to do over the next 4 years, Brother Bryson, to honor this? The next time you all should bring somebody to this conference. Every year, over the next 4 years, this room should be standing room only where they have to move it into the gymnasium over the next 4 years. What goals are you going to set? Where's my seven? Who's in middle school here? Put your hand up if you're in middle school. Middle school, next 4 years. What grade are you in, my brother? 7th grade? 7th? 4 years, what grade? You're going to be in the 11th grade. Who's in the 9th grade? 9th grade, put your hand up. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Put your hand up. 9th grade, 4 years. You're going to be a freshman in college. 10th graders, where you at? Put your hand up. You're going to be a sophomore in college in 4 years. You should be. Or in a trade school. Or in the military. As my brother Turner talked about here. My dad's a veteran too, sir. Injured veteran. 11th graders, where you at? What are you going to be in 4 years? You should be up close to your junior year in college. So by the time, my point is this. Where's my 12? I got some seniors in here? Senior? See, let's give these seniors a hand, guys. These guys a hand. You guys have made it to your senior year of high school. What's the next 4 years going to look like for you, though? What is the next 4 years? We love Barack. We love you, Obama. We love you. He's got a lot of work to do the next 4 years. What are you going to do over the next 4 years? That's a challenge to all of us. That's a challenge to me. I'm rededicating myself to this over the next 4 years. Because I guarantee you, as African Americans and those that are concerned about the cause of African Americans, if we do, and I didn't forget about my Harvest and Dream brothers over the next 4 years, some of y'all should be in master's programs or PhD programs by then, that if we commit ourselves over the next 4 years across this country, this is the message I'm taking across the country before I get ready to sit down. If we take the next 4 years and challenge ourselves first and then challenge our friends next to us, we can reverse this hood infectious virus. When you see your buddy about to join that gang or he's already in that gang and he's getting in some stuff that he shouldn't be involved in, it's your job. It's your job. Barack cannot come and save your buddy. It's your job to begin to pull him out. And that's what I talk about in there, about it's time for a change of mind. The next one I talk about is that you are a great creation. Every morning I get up and I do an affirmation called I am a world overcomer. And it goes like this: I'm a world overcomer, strong and powerful in the might, powerful and strong in God's might. I am a child of God that makes me a world overcomer. I am confident, I am courageous, I am undaunted in my faith, even as I experience trials and tribulations. I will not give in to distress, I will not give in to defeat, I will not give in. I am created by God to succeed in this life. Through God and the authority that He has given me, I can overcome any obstacle or challenge I might face. I can overcome in tough economic times. I can overcome when the odds are against me. I can overcome unforeseen and unexpected setbacks, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what's going on around me, regardless of my present situation, regardless of my past failures. I can overcome. The battle is the Lord's. The victory is mine. I shall overcome. That's an affirmation. You need to find an affirmation as you go through your life. The next one I do, because I have to remind myself sometimes, us adults, we have to remind ourselves that we're created for greatness. We lose our way just like you guys do. And so we have to remind ourselves. The next one I go into, matter of fact, I need you to turn to this one, and I'm going to sit down, Brother Bryson, here. But don't be a trick. What page is that? Page 12? I got to talk about that for just a minute, Mr. Bryson. I'm okay? Yeah. Don't be a trick. And when I talk about here, we call people tricks. Oh, dude, you're a trick. You gave all your money to your girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. A trick is also somebody who goes out and buys sexual favors from prostitutes. They call them tricks. But I'm talking about getting tricked off in life. I'm talking about getting tricked where you begin to think that right is wrong. You begin to think that wrong is right. You begin to put people in places in your mind as heroes. You're getting tricked. If I'm going to play a trick on you, I'm not going to tell you what the trick is. I'm not talking about white. I don't get up and talk about the white man playing a trick on you and all that conspiracy. I don't. But there's a trick that's being played on you sometimes just by society. If I take a frog and I put him in a pot of boiling water, that frog will jump right out of that water because he can feel the temperature change on him. But if I take a frog and put him in a pot of room temperature water, and then I slowly begin to turn the heat up on that pot of water, that frog will be in there just swimming, just kicking it, thinking he's just having fun, like so many of us are in the first grade, second grade, happy to bring a paper home with a star on it. Look, Mama, look, got an A, got 100%. Did good today in school. Happy to get on the bus. Can't wait for the bus to get there. First, second, third grade. But that frog, see, he can't feel the temperature change on him. You see? So that frog, when the heat starts going up, he can't feel the change. And he begins to cook slowly. And he begins to slow down. And he begins to cook to death. Because he couldn't feel the temperature change. That's what happens, y'all, with this hood infectious virus. One day I was a happy-go-lucky kindergartner. One day I was a happy-go-lucky second grader, just happy to be in school. Somewhere around the 6th grade, 7th grade, my pants started falling down for some reason. I started looking at my teacher different. It wasn't Miss Smith, I'm happy to see you today. It's Miss Smith, F you, I ain't got time to look at you today. My boys is talking about something better out here today. You don't even realize when the change happened. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. You don't even realize when that change happens, when you go from being a loving school, wanting, I'm going to be a doctor when I grow up. I'm going to be a such and such when I grow up. All of a sudden, I'm just going to be a rapper. I'm going to be an NBA player. Or I'm going to be a banker. I'm going to go out here and get this Skrilla on this corner. You don't even realize when it changed. The temperature got turned up on you slowly, and you didn't know it. Your mind became slowly infected, and we didn't know it. But the beautiful thing about you all that are here today is that you're in a time of protection because you're coming under here. You're at ICC on a Saturday morning. That says a whole lot. It's like a butterfly and a caterpillar. Everyone knows that a butterfly comes from a caterpillar, right? It's really easy to kill a caterpillar because they can't fly. But they still have the same DNA of the butterfly. But right now, you're caterpillars. You're caterpillars. You're trying to become butterflies. But right now, it's easy for me to kill you. And I don't mean just physically kill you. But if I put enough images in your mind, if I put enough thoughts into your head, I can kill you slowly, and you don't even realize that you're dying. You see, because you're still a caterpillar. You haven't came out of that cocoon now to become the butterfly that God created you to be. Every caterpillar is created to be a butterfly. No caterpillar is created to remain a caterpillar. But if you don't get in the right protection around you, you will die before you become the butterfly that God created you to be. Every one of you are created to fly. Every one of you are created to soar. Many of you have heard the story of the eagles and the chickens, and the eagle that was born in the chicken patch fell out of his nest as an egg. The mother hen went down there, picked the chicken egg, the eagle egg up. Said, chickens and eagles, Mr. Plank, what you talking about? I thought you was a rapper. You talking about chickens and eagles? But the eagle was raised with the chickens. The eagle, because he was hatched with the chickens, catch this, and I'm going to get out of here. Just because he was raised with the chickens, he believed he was a chicken. He was really an eagle the whole time. So he walked around talking like a chicken, trying to quack. What do chickens do? Quack, quack like a chicken, chirp like a chicken, cluck like a chicken. But every time he looked at himself, he knew it was something different about him. But he kept trying so hard to fit in with the other chickens that he spent most of his life creating the mindset of a chicken instead of the eagle that he was created to be. The moral of that story is that just because you were born around some chickens, I ain't talking about nobody's family. I can only talk about mine. I love my family, though, too. But it was too much chicken talk going on that almost killed me, that almost sent me to Lansing Penitentiary in Kansas, or Hutchinson Penitentiary, or Leavenworth Penitentiary, because I was hanging out with chickens. Until one day, Mr. Tommy Williams, like Mr. Bryson and these men here are trying to do with every one of y'all. They're trying to show you that you're eagles. I seen on the video where he's taking kids to visit universities. That's what happened to me. I didn't believe him. I said, no, I'm going to be a chicken, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to be honest. I said, I'm going to be a pimp, Mr. Williams. That's what I want to be. I had two brothers. They was twins, man. Back in the 70s, we had Superfly look. Y'all know about Superfly. But they had the perms going down their back, man. They had Corvettes. They had white girls, black girls, man, all the time. They had speedboats. They used to let me come down there and wash their cars, wash their boats. Hood infectious virus getting me, Mr. Bryson. I'm going to be like y'all. The Trotter boy, I'm going to be like y'all, man. Yeah. Here I was, a potential mathematician, talking about, no, I'm going to be a pimp like these guys, because that's what I saw. So that's all I'm trying to tell you guys here today. This hood infectious virus, you don't know you're getting it. Just like the regular HIV, you don't know you're getting it. Sometimes until it's too late. That AIDS, you can ask brothers that done been there, and I know some of them are going to talk here. They've been in prison with guys that are addicted to incarceration. And they were just like you just a minute ago. And I'm going to go down to this next lesson, the business of jail. If you don't believe the business of jail or jail is a business, you already are being infected. Jail, did y'all know you can buy your own prison? You didn't know that, did you? Did y'all know that? Did you know you can buy your own prison? Did y'all know that? See? It's called public-private enterprise. It's almost like starting a charter school, but you get a lot more money if you start a prison. On average, you get about $30,000 a year for every prisoner that I have in my prison. If I have a prison with 1,000 beds in it, how much money is that? Anybody here good in math? A little more than that. 30 million. That's $30 million a year. So if I got a chance, the business of jail, y'all, you better catch this. If I have a chance to get $30 million a year, I get $30,000 for each one of y'all that goes into school tomorrow or Monday. Don't do your homework. Don't listen to your teacher. Cuss your principal out. Tell your mama you didn't really do it. They lying on me, mama. I didn't do that. They get $30,000 a year for you. If you keep that behavior up that doesn't lead to college or trade school or the military, because there's nothing for you to do back in your neighborhood. And so for me, if I own the prison, it's important for me. It's important for me that you don't listen to your teacher. It's important for me that you don't listen to Mr. Bryson and Mr. Turner and these other great mentors that I see here today. If I own the prison, matter of fact, I don't want this program to even exist. You're cutting into my profit, Mr. Bryson, with this. I was on a plane, and I'm sorry, I got to tell you this story. I was on a plane, man. I was working in Milwaukee at this time. I was opening schools up there, and I was on a plane coming from a meeting in Memphis. We had a layover in Memphis. And I was telling a lady about what I did for a living, and I was opening schools, trying to save the world, all this good stuff. And my bags got lost. And so this guy, I noticed he kept looking at me on the plane. And he came up to me. He was standing in line because his bag got lost too. And he tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Hey, what do you do?" I told him. He said, "Man, you're going to put me out of business. And you can look this company up." His company, I said, "What do you do? What do you mean I'm going to put you out of business?" It was called the American Supply Company. Him and his boys, he said, "We're on our way to Green Bay," because we was both catching a plane now to Milwaukee. He said, "We're on our way to celebrate. We got tickets for the Green Bay Packers. We just signed an $11 million contract with the state of Tennessee to provide things for their commissary, for the store. That's the prison store." He said, "We just signed an $11 million contract." I said, "Man, I might be in the wrong business." I said, "How'd you get into that business?" He said, "Because I used to have a mom and pop store, a little corner store in the neighborhood, and I noticed that after a certain amount of years, the kids weren't there anymore. I was wondering where they were at." He said, "I realized there was more kids now that I used to serve candy and soda and chips to that were in jail. They still want candy, soda, and chips." He said, "I started trying to figure out a way, how can I get it and still sell it to them?" And he got into the prison commissary business. Everything in prison is a business. Somebody's got to make the shoes. Somebody's got to make the uniforms. Some small towns survive on the prison that's in there. The people have jobs because of the prison. If the prison goes down, that whole town goes down. Those guards, the people, I'm not knocking them for working there. It's a job. If we gonna show up, hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to get my paycheck. It's business. It ain't even black and white. It's business. And so they say, now we can go down here and spend some money at the car lot. Now we can go to the grocery store. Now I can have insurance for my family. Now, because you didn't listen, or not you guys, I'm just talking in general. No, this ain't putting none of y'all down because y'all in the right place. Don't get me wrong here. I'm loving the fact that y'all are here listening today. But too many of us, let me say this, because I don't want y'all to think this is a beat down at all. But I have to be straight with y'all, man, because y'all here today. But don't think that when people talk about this jail thing, it's a business. It's a business. It's a business. Don't forget that ever. And if my jail is empty, we're going out of business. So it's important that I get as many rappers out here. Nothing against rappers. But I get you to believe when they put negative rap out, I need you to believe that. I need you to believe that it's easier for you to be a pimp or a hustler or a drug dealer. I need you to believe that so I can fill this prison up and keep this money going and keep this economy going. The last one I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to sit down, I promise you, Mr. Bryson, there's an old DMX song called "Where My Dog's At." You know, there's a couple on there, CDs and choices and decisions. The hood infectious virus is contagious, don't catch it. That's the last two. But right before that, there's one that says, "Where are you going?" as well. You got to ask yourself that every day. What are the decisions I'm making? Where am I going? But where are my dogs at? I heard Mr. Turner talk about 5 of his 7 friends were in prison or dead. I want to show you some of my friends real quick, and I'm going to sit down after I show you my friends and why I really do this work. I'm not here because of Magic Johnson. I love Magic. That's my guy. good brother. I'm not here because I went to Morehouse. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I take that back because I do want to share that experience with as many young men as I can. But I'm here because of what happened to my friends. And you can go on the Kansas Department and other states. I grew up in Kansas, Mr. Turner. So when I go in the Kansas Department, I can pull up my friends and pull up pictures of them, of the brothers I grew up there. This is my boy, K. Walk. This is his cousin, Dale Walker. This is my first cousin Cleveland. This is my son's, one of my son's best friends. That's his son, so his father and son in prison together. This is my older brother that used to smoke crack with him, his best friend. This is a brother used to be an All-American he was All-State, third-team All-American at North High, so don't think because you make it through high school that you're going to automatically make it. These two guys right here were the two starting guards, and I'm not showing their names, but I'm just showing you the pictures of the two starting guards on the 1982 West High State Championship team. Both of them ended up in prison. One's addicted to incarceration. I didn't tell you I grew up with Barry Sanders, did I? But me and Barry played together. Everybody, y'all heard of Barry Sanders? You young guys heard of Barry? What? Oh, man. One of the greatest running backs to ever touch the ball. Detroit Lions. Boy, y'all got computers. Google Barry Sanders. One of the coldest brothers ever touched the ball. But me and Barry grew up together in Wichita, Kansas. Matter of fact, if you ever Google his Hall of Fame speech, and I'm not bragging, I'm just speaking the facts, you'll see him mention a guy named Bugs Polite in there. He's talking about me in his Hall of Fame speech. But this is the guy that used to start in front of Barry. He's on one of these now. But Barry didn't start till his senior year of high school. This is another guy on that 1982 state championship team I'm talking about. This is one of my best friend's nephews right here. This is one of my best friend's nephews as well, his first cousin that I grew up with. This brother played at Wichita State for a year. One of my best friends ended up in prison. This brother had a sweet left-hand jumper, played good ball with us, ended up in prison. This brother here and his brother, both of my boys right here, Tony and Calvin, grew up with. Dad used to drive a truck. This brother was a McDonald's All-American right here, 6'5", 200-something pounds, ended up back in prison in Kansas. This brother right here, we played together at the gym every day. My boy Greg, this is one of Barry's uncles right here, another one of his uncles right here. This is one of his first cousins right here. This brother right here, another brother I grew up playing with right here. Another brother here was an all-state player at Wichita Heights right here. This brother right here is one of my best friend's little brothers, and I'm going to talk about real briefly. This brother right here is these two guys are brothers. They're in there together with their nephew, so they're all in there together. This brother right here is one of my best friends I played with. I'm going to say his whole name. He tells me to mention his name, Chris Laudermilk. We played football together all our life, played with Barry. He did about 9 years. He's out doing okay right now. This brother right here still has the City League record for the most three-point shots in Wichita's history, 9 three-pointers in a game. He's did about 20-something years. This is my third-grade girlfriend. I just pulled her up just because I heard she was in there. This is right here. This brother here was so fast, man. Nobody could catch this brother across the whole state, man. And he did about 5, but he got out. He didn't get addicted to incarceration. This brother here, Darren, he didn't get addicted, but he did about 9 years. Brother Paul did about 13 years, but he didn't get addicted, though. He's out doing okay right now. His brother can't stay out. He's addicted. His Tommy and Teddy, first cousins right here, they both addicted. Both of them done did about 17 years. All these people grew up on my block or 2 blocks away from me. These ain't people that I just heard about. These are my friends, my best friends. Trotter, he can't get out right now. This brother won the state, him and his brother won the state tennis championship in 1982. He's doing 5 years right now, messing with little girls. Y'all watch out if you're over 18, messing with little girls, till get you in trouble. This is one of my best friends right here. He's out now, but he did 5, trying to get it back together. This brother right here, I talk about him all the time. He's playing at the University of Missouri Science and Technology right now. Praise God for him, but he did 7 years before he went back to college to play ball. At 17, he pulled 10 armed robberies with a BB gun. Told the judge he didn't know he could go to jail because it was a BB gun. Hood infectious virus. Tried him as an adult, him and another guy. That's when I was with the Boys and Girls Club. This is my son's best friend, committed a murder. He's been in about 15 years, say he's supposed to get out pretty soon. Another one of my son's best friends, another one of my son's best friends. Now I'm getting down to the generational. Not my friends, now my son's friends, Mr. Bryson. This is one of my son's best friends. Him and this guy smothered a little girl because they got her pregnant, didn't want her to have the baby. Huh? This brother right here, and this is my last stop here. This is the Wichita Eagle and Beacon, our newspaper. I also coached. So on this picture, you can't see it from way back there, but this is me. This is a guy, we call him State Champ Hamp. Hamp won 5 state championships in the 1.5 mile. Believe it or not, about 70 pounds ago, I used to run the 1.5 mile too. But so I was his coach when I went back to Wichita to teach at my old high school. Found this guy. He had just got shot in the butt. Him and his friends was playing, calling themselves Bloods, was playing with a gun in their grandmother's basement and got shot in the butt. He didn't even know he was bleeding. He didn't know he got shot. They was looking for the bullet. He started talking about, man, my stomach kind of hurting. And dude said, man, one of his friends said, man, you got a little speck of blood on your back, on your butt, man. They took him to the hospital. He was bleeding internally. When you get shot with a 22, I don't know if any of y'all been shot with a 22 before, but hope not. But it twirls when it goes inside of you. And so it twirled up, and he was bleeding his intestines and didn't even know it. That was in the 9th grade he did that, you 9th graders. Playing with the gun. Didn't nobody have to shoot him. His friend shot him accidentally. They had to have emergency surgery on him, but we got him out, got him straight. Boy won 5 championships, got him a full scholarship out to Dodge County Community College even after he wasn't eligible his senior year. But Hamp ended up on one of these, though. After I left and moved away, he got back with the old crew. How do you go from the front page for doing great things to one of these? Come here, brother. Tell you why I really do this. Why I really want y'all to listen to Mr. Bryson and these people at this African American male conference. I need y'all to catch this. But this is one of my best friends. He's doing time in Colorado. This is my sister's son. Y'all catch this now. My sister's son, my nephew in Lyman. If you ever watch Lockup, they always put this penitentiary called Lyman Penitentiary on there. Y'all, anybody watch Lockup? One of my favorite shows. I know y'all like Lockup. So, but if you ever see that penitentiary on Lockup, my nephew was in there. At 16, he was involved in a murder. So where is he still here, the state attorney? Oh, yeah. But he got life without parole at 16. No chance of parole. 16. Life without parole. Him and his little buddies from the football team. He was playing football, but still trying to call himself half banger, half student. Come on, y'all. What say they gonna go rob the weed man? They've been knowing them all their life. Hood infectious virus. If you're gonna be a criminal, don't be a dumb criminal, first of all. The dude grabs the gun and says, hey man, little old Christopher, man, boy, get out of here. Ain't nobody playing with you. Boy, I've been knowing you all your life. The gun went off when he grabbed it and killed him. Life without parole. This is my brother that I told you about that's doing 32 years. I mean, it's been a heroin for 32 years. Out now, but still doing heroin. One of my nephews again that my mother raised that I was telling you about. This is my niece. What's the last name on this one, brother? Come over here. I want these people to hear this one. What's the last name on this one?
Polite.
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 What's the last name on this one?
Polite. That's a lot.
What'd you say?
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man. They all got the same last name as me. Most of them were smarter than me. The hood infectious virus, y'all, is real. Every one of y'all young people, you're overcomers. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Every one of y'all, man, are world overcomers, man. You do not have to end up on one of these pictures, man. You guys have beautiful brothers in this room and sisters in this room, that I see mothers that want to protect you. Be that butterfly. Be that eagle. Be all that God created y'all to be, man. We need y'all, man. We need y'all. God bless y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you, Brother Bryson. God bless, man.